Okay, just pop.
And we ready to go?
We ready.
Let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, I know nobody's here yet, but welcome back to your favorite podcast.
Riffin with Griffin, yeah.
Woo, woo, woo. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Welcome to Riffin with Griffin. Woo, 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 woo. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, y'all, welcome back. Wiggs is back. We're doing it live in full effect because I got to do it live. I've been busy. It is what it is. So, you know, welcome back to Riffin with Griffin. This is a live. So if you're not watching live or you're not listening live, it's okay. We're going to get into some stuff. I went to Madison, Wisconsin. I'm going into the Arlington Draft House coming up this weekend. So make sure you check me out there. And, you know, we're just going to get into some stuff like we do every single week. But once again, everybody, welcome back to Riffin with Griffin. Yeah. Okay, so let me put the singer mic down so that's not in the way. But first, before we even start, let me get into where are we here? You know, I'm always behind on everything. Oh man, what? See, I had it ready to go, and then it always messes up. All right, so I want to talk about Helix Sleep, guys. Starting right off, Helix Sleep, big shout out today to them. Take their 2-minute sleep quiz, and they'll match you to the mattress that will give you the best sleep of your life. Find your perfect mattress at helixsleep.com/Griffin. Okay, that's done. Welcome back to Riffin with Griffin, everybody. You know, I know we are live right now, and I know no one knows about it because I just go in and do it. You know, this is like I wasn't gonna do it live. You know what I mean? But then I thought, you know what? It's better just to do it live.
You can see the chat, right?
Yeah. Can I see the chat? I don't even wait. Actually, I'm gonna go to this so I can see the chat. Yeah. Oh, that's right. I don't have the thing turned around, but I will go to it on my phone so I can see the chat.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? So there it is right there. I got to turn this down, you know, but I got to watch an ad. My own freaking page. Oh, there you go. So people are here. We got 40 people in the house. So everybody that's listening later, you know, thanks for listening. If you ever want to catch it live, if I do it live, I'll do it on Mondays, the day of the podcast. But I should probably put a schedule, but it is what it is. So I'll occasionally look at the chat. So people are like, somebody's like, notice me. This idiot Ed. It's always in my gaming chat. And by the way, too, I also stream live Twitch. Wiggs, there's like a thing there for like the Twitch. You see it on the second row, whatever it is like that. You can that'll put that Twitch thing on the screen.
Yeah.
You see it? All right, so to catch me live on Twitch, Erik Griffin Gaming. You make sure you have to turn it off too. But anyways, welcome back to Riffin with Griffin. Wiggs is here. Wiggs, so tell me where you been, man. What's going on with you? How come you haven't been around? What's going on? You don't love Riffin with Griffin anymore? What's happening?
No, well, you're always, you're always somewhere too.
Look how you put it on me.
Well, right before I left, I went on my trip. I mean, you were gone a couple times in a short.
That's true.
It was a hectic situation, but yeah. Then I went to Wyoming, and then I went to New York.
Wyoming?
City.
What were you doing in Wyoming?
Well, one of my really good friends, my next door neighbor that I grew up next to, his mom moved to Wyoming, and she has a really nice house there. So
sweet.
I was gonna go to New York because I booked like a video shoot out there, and then he was like, "Oh, my mom really wants to see us. Like, she'll get our tickets to New York if you come to Wyoming with me first for a couple days." And I was like, "I mean, why not? It's in Jackson Hole, Wyoming." So
Jackson.
It was yeah, like the nice, the like the nice where Kanye got a ranch. And
there's a nice part of Wyoming.
I mean, yeah, it's like it's got like the biggest wealth inequality gap in the country. Like it's like the biggest. It's like insane. I mean, it's just
so there's like the poorest of poor and then the richest of rich.
Like nobody that works in Jackson lives in Jackson. They all live in Idaho, like 20 miles outside of.
That's actually a nice part of the country. When I first started doing comedy,
it's beautiful.
When I first started doing comedy, I would go to Montana, and then I would drive. So you would drive to like through Montana, you would drive to Idaho for a show, drive back to Montana, and then there's actually beautiful parts of I've actually been to Wyoming too, so there's a lot of beautiful parts of Wyoming, Montana, Idaho. These are just places in your head you go, I'm never going to go there. But I always say there's some really nice parts of the United States that everybody should. Don't think that it's like all terrible or whatever, or rural, or it's like whatever you might think of it.
You'd be surprised.
You'd be surprised how beautiful it is throughout the United States in those areas.
And she's like, his mom is such a outdoorsy lady, like hikes, like she's like climbed like 5 of the like 7 tallest mountains. She's just like insane, like outdoorsy lady, skis and snowboards, and just that's her whole life.
Sound like you're interested.
No, she's cool, but she's like my second mom. I've known her since I was like 4 years old. So
so you really interested?
No, that's weird. But shout out to Amy though. She's lit. And
you like older chicks though. I know you've been like.
I like older chicks.
I know you've been with a few.
But yeah, not my like second.
I'm only teasing you. Look how uncomfortable
of course.
He was just like, please do it. I'll put that image in my head.
No, that is a weird one. But so then she got us tickets to New York, because that's where I need to go anyway. And then, my friend whose mom that is he stays in Brooklyn. I've known him since, we grew up together. And, stayed in the city a little bit. My family on my mom's side has a small little cabin in upstate New York, literally in a tiny town. Like the town's probably 2 miles long, and it's literally called Boonville. Like, so it's literally the boonies. And then and then you got to go down like giant road, and
Boonville.
Then, you got to go down giant road, then you got to go down a giant dirt road, then into like the forest dirt road, and there's only like 3 other houses on the whole street.
Shout out to Boonville.
Shout out to Boonville.
Shout out to Boonville.
But that was beautiful. That was amazing.
Well, I wish you had some pictures to show us.
I do, but
well, you get there.
We're doing it live. So.
I know. Well, while you figure that out, let me go into some stuff that I wanted to get into.
Cool. So that's where I've been.
But it's good to see you again, Wiggs.
Yes,
haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back.
Good to be back. Okay, so let's see, guys. I went to Wisconsin, and I was in Madison, Wisconsin, Comedy on State this past weekend. Shout out to them. They did a remodeling of the club, the green room, the bar area, and it is fantastic. Just super shout out to them. Thanks for having me, and everybody was fun. It was a little weird because college towns are full of like the dumbest people on earth, which is college kids, and I don't mean that in like a way of like they're like dumb, like smart dumb. They're smart dumb, because they're so sensitive. They haven't lived any life experience. They don't understand nuance. They take everything literal. Everything's black and white. So when you're trying to do comedy at a place like that, sometimes people like they don't understand. Like, hey, we're telling some jokes live. This isn't it's you don't have to take offense to every single thing. And if you don't like something, it's fine. Like, I don't care. Like, you don't like it. The best way to do that is just to like don't laugh, and then you wait for the thing you do like, and then you laugh, and then you go home. You either go, I enjoyed that, or you go, it wasn't my cup of tea, and then we can move on with our lives. It doesn't have to turn into this thing where we like have to like try to cancel everyone or whatever it is like that. Like, speaking of, but anyway, let me just get back to Madison, then I'll go into that next little diatribe I'm gonna go into. I'm gonna keep my phone in my hand, try my best to like answer like when I'm looking at the chat for you people that are watching live, and thank you all you YouTube people watching live. You guys are great. Yeah, so the club was great. And so there was some times where it was a little sensitive, but I actually like the challenge of it. If I'm at a place where I feel like it's super conservative or super like people are very sensitive to what you say, and I have to do 5 shows, and the first show, if I'm really going at it and people aren't responding the way I want them to, I like that. Because then it goes, oh, you know what I have to do? That means I have to like make a small adjustment or figure a way so my message isn't lost in the delivery. Because that's what happens a lot. Your message gets lost in the delivery. Or people hear some buzzwords and they don't want to hear anything else but their own thought. They have an idea about you. They hear a word and they think in their minds, if you say this word, it means you're racist. If you say that word, it means that you're homophobic or whatever it is. If you just mention something, not even like a bad word, I'm saying, you could just say in a joke, if you use the word gay in a joke and you're talking about something, people don't even listen to your point. They're not, all they hear is gay and now you're homophobic. If you say woman, if you're talking about women in your thing, if you just say women or, I had this thing with women and then it's like, well, that means you hate women. That's just sometimes how people approach comedy when they're listening to it, because they're looking to be offended. It's the world we live in right now. And then on top of with this thing that's going on, this controversy with Dave Chappelle's last special, it's really a unprecedented moment right now and not for free speech, because this ain't about free speech, because free speech is not what people think it is. Most people don't even really understand the First Amendment. They just like to say that, but like you've heard this before, but you can't call out fire in a movie theater. If it causes a panic for people and someone gets hurt, it's on you. So free speech don't mean you could say whatever you want. And by the way, even if it was that means you could say whatever you want, and then somebody else can say whatever they want about what you said, and it's a circle that goes back and forth. So this isn't about free speech. This really is about cancel culture. About this, and cancel culture is turning into a terrorist organization that's like, hey, we don't like you, so we want you removed. And then they say all this stuff. We can't allow that to go. We can't. Even if you don't like it. Even if the things they're saying about the Chappelle special are true. I don't think they're true. I think that he was poking the bear. I think he was trying to make some points. I think he was trying to make points more than he was trying to make us laugh. But that's just neither here nor there. But no matter what he was saying, I think that a lot of his message is lost on the delivery. I really do. And I think it's just also compounded with, this is now the third or fourth special in a row where he's talking about this subject. And, what unprecedented thing that someone can do that. Most of us, if we do a special and everyone hates the special, or not everyone, let's say you do a special and you have something in the special and people attack you for that, you don't normally get the chance to do another special a year later and address it in your special. And make $20 million. Only Chappelle gets to do that. So that's a pretty amazing thing. So that's what he's been doing 3 in a row. I think he should have moved on, but that's just my opinion. But I also understand the feeling of being like, no, I'm not going to let y'all get away with what you were saying about me, so let me double down again and talk about this. Not all of us are in that position. He is in a very unique position to do that. And what I'm saying is we can't be taken hostage. You don't negotiate with terrorists. You know what I mean? You can't let this cancel culture come out and be like, well, we don't like it, so it's got to go. Good for Netflix being like, nah, we're keeping this on. Even if these people believe that he's saying that it's coming across the way they're saying, if they believe he's transphobic, if they believe these things about him, if they're taking it that way and their feelings are valid, the people that don't like the Chappelle special for that reason, their feelings are valid. I even saw Hannah Gadsby. And I'm not a huge fan of hers. That's not my cup of tea, but it doesn't matter, right? But I respect what she said about being don't drag me in, because he used Sarandos, the head of Netflix, used her in a memo as part of her memo being like, hey, we're very inclusive. We had this, and we had Hannah Gadsby. So she was like, yo, don't bring me in this. And so she has a valid point to feel that way. So it was very polarizing. It was very it's pulling at everybody. But what I'm saying, though, is that we cannot allow a group of people, a very small group of people, being dictating what can and cannot be on our Netflix, our TV, our airwaves, just because they don't like it. And again, you have the perfect right to feel how you feel if you have a valid feeling, because I understand actually why someone would think what they think, because he was definitely going at them. He was definitely going at them, and it's just it is what it is. But we have to allow it to happen. We have to allow the discourse. We have to allow, you have to allow things that you don't like to be on the internet, to be on TV. And we can't just allow people to be like, yeah, we don't like this, take it off, So that's just what I have to say about that. And so to bring it back to me, what it has done, though, it has made doing stand-up in this right now a little more challenging. It's made it a little more challenging because now people are very much like on edge about anything that you talk about. They're just going, oh, here we go. Here's another one, whatever. And, I love that. I think it's great. I think it's great for comedy. I think it's great for comedians. I think it's great for us to challenge ourselves, to be more thoughtful, to especially what's the point you're trying to make, Because again, going back to the Chappelle special, I think that people are missing the points he was making through the delivery of his jokes and the feeling he had behind it. Like you could tell he was a little bit going at people because of how he felt people were going at him. But I felt he made some valid points about, his thing about the baby, that rapper. He was saying why weren't you trying to cancel him when he murdered somebody? He murdered somebody and there was no big internet uproar about him still rapping. But the moment he said something about someone gay, he made his whatever disparaging comment he made. Now we have to get rid of him. So he was just trying to make that point about the disparity, what word am I trying to say? The discrepancy between different movements. He made a great point about saying hey, I'm jealous of the gay movement because look at the progress they've been able to make, and the African American community has not made the same kind of progress. Even if we think we have, not like this, it doesn't have the impact, right? So I mean, he was trying to make some points. Now, if you want to say you didn't think it was funny, if you want to say, hey, I don't think this is art, or I don't think that, he was using this platform to vent, if you want to say that, valid points you're having, but it shouldn't be removed is the point I'm making. So I'm out in Madison and I was trying my best and I think I did okay. I did more than okay. I mean, there were people that really loved me, but after one show though, this woman comes up to me. She was a little drunk. And she was foreign, too. And the only reason why I say the foreign part is I think a lot of times, because she was from the Middle East. And I've been to the Middle East. I could tell she was Middle Eastern. I don't know if she was from Pakistan or she was from, but she had a thick accent. And she was very upset at me about my jokes, And she was coming at me, And the only reason why I say about the foreign thing is because I think sometimes context is lost in a language translation in people's head. I think sometimes nuance and sarcasm and certain things that make jokes funny, some people, for them, they just take things literal, because she was like, you were talking about women and you didn't talk about men, and it just wasn't true. It's just the jokes I say about women they're just funnier than the ones, you know what I mean? It's the ones that punch hard, right? But I thought, anyways, if you're at a show, guys, just let me just give you the tip. If you're at a show and you're sitting in the crowd and there's 300 people in this show, 200 people in this show, whatever it is, right? And everyone is laughing, or a majority of the people are laughing. You look around and you see white people, black people, old, young, different types of ethnicities, different ethnic backgrounds, different social economics. You could tell some people are rich, some people are not. All the differences in a crowd, and they're all laughing at the jokes that you're listening to. But you don't like it. I think you need to take that into account before you walk up to a comic acting like what he's doing is wrong. I mean, the arrogance of someone to think that because they didn't like something in a crowd of the people that everyone seems to be enjoying themselves, it's like, fuck off. Just take that, just go home I didn't like the guy. That wasn't my cup of tea. And everyone in that room was also wrong. You go do that on your own. Now, that being said, if you're the one female in a room, and let's say it's 90% guys, and all the guys are laughing at some sort of misogynistic or whatever you might interpret it to be joke, you might have a better point. You might have a better point to be like, but then even at the same time, what are you doing there? You know what I mean? If this is some rah-rah frat party and we're speaking and your comic is speaking to the crowd, I don't think it's on you to be like, hey, this is wrong or I didn't like this. Because then everybody there is kind of like, okay, well, maybe you should leave. You know what I mean? And even if it's something bad, man, I don't think it's like if you're Jewish, I don't think you want to go to the Nazi meet and greet. You know what I mean? You're going to be there being like, hey, guys, I don't think this is good. And they're going to be like, well, what are you doing here? We're talking, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that's right, but know your audience, man. Know where you are. Take that into account. And so I just think that these people that go to comedy shows and they just think, oh, I just heard the worst thing ever. Look around. people are enjoying themselves. Maybe it's you. You ever think that? You ever think it could be just you? But I don't know. Let me go to the chat and see what these people are saying. Yes, this is actually live. Hello, everyone. I am live. Riffin with Griffin. Thank you for being here. People listening later on all the podcast platforms. I also thank you guys for being here, and I appreciate you. So one other thing that happened at Wisconsin, and Wiggs, you can come back on the screen. I want to ask you something about, because you went to Wyoming. Like, what did you feel, what was the COVID situation like there? Did you feel like, was everybody masked up, or was it just a kind of thing where you felt willy-nilly, or what was the feeling out there in Wyoming?
I'm trying to remember. I don't
Did you have a mask? Were you wearing a mask?
I think I mean,
Or unless you don't want to say. I mean, I don't want to put you on blast. We are live.
No, well, I'm vaxxed, so technically I have the choice, right? But I'm trying to remember. I think it was just, half and half. I mean, it seemed like one of those places where, most of the people didn't support wearing a mask, is the vibe I got. But I'm trying to remember. I think it was just kind of half and half. Like, you didn't have to inside. But it's also like, a very small town area. And everyone's pretty spread out. So, I mean, obviously, if I was around people and going to stores, I always wear my mask.
Oh, you're that guy? All right, I can appreciate that.
I'm vaxxed, so I guess it doesn't matter either way. But just to
make other people. But here's the thing, though, it's like
to make other people feel.
See now, that's a point. That's a great way to say that too.
Yeah, I think that's the only real reason. I mean, right.
But it's like, one thing, the misinformation is they should not have put information out saying that if you got the vaccine, you'll never get COVID.
Oh no,
that was never
that
true.
For sure.
But I'm just saying that was never true.
Right.
They should never have let that myth sort of grow. It kind of caught fire. So then all of us got vaxxed, and then when they're like, "Hey, you still got to wear a mask," we were all like, "What? Why are we going to wear masks? This is."
And when we went to no masks completely, and then they pulled back like almost immediately, and they're like, "Oh, wait, we got to do masks again,"
Yeah. So somebody's just telling me right now, Janine, thank you for the super chat and the thing. But she was telling me right now, I really want to see you in Arlington this weekend, but I already have tickets to Schultz. Well, I didn't even know Schultz was in. So that's going to be a challenge. So me and Andrew Schultz are going to be in the Arlington area at the same time. But, it is what it is. But come check me out in Arlington for all you guys that are listening right now. All right, so, okay, that's a good thing to go into, what I wanted to go into, Wiggs, about. But anyways, guys, so I'm in Madison, okay? So I'm doing a meet and greet. And, not all comics do meet and greets anymore. I mean, I feel like I've been, I'm getting myself healthier. I've lost weight. I took a IV before I went. I get like an immune boost IV sometimes before I go to a place where I'm like, hey, I don't know what's going on. I just gotten it. It's because I went to Cabo. I got an immune boost IV. So I feel like I still had that going on. I'm taking my vitamins. I'm trying to be pretty healthy. And I'm also vaccinated, so I'll do a meet and greet. I'm telling myself I'm taking that risk. So I'll do a meet and greet. But so a guy comes up, and then we're taking a picture. It's like him and a couple of his friends, and they got their masks off. A lot of people ask me to say, okay, if I take my mask off, and I'm like, it's fine. We're just taking a quick pic. I don't breathe. You know what I mean? And then they can go. But the guy goes, he has his mask on, and then he goes, oh, let me take this off. What am I, a liberal? And when he said that, I thought to myself, man, that's messed up. It's messed up that this has been so politicized. And that's how people feel about it. So it ain't about health and safety. It's not about like what Wiggs said about, hey, I'm trying to make the people around me comfortable. So that's also why I do it. So, I mean, that's a thing, So the fact that this guy said that he made it like where people do think of it like that this is a Democrat, Republican, conservative, progressive issue instead of it being about a health and safety issue. And the thing too about it is that's crazy about even with health and safety, sometimes I feel like a lot of these places, it ain't even about health and safety first. It's about liability first. It's about optics first. So like a more liberal place might be like, well, we have to show everybody that we care about this, as opposed to the main point being about health and safety. I'll give you another example, like another analogy for this is like, it's like when you go to the airport, we still got to take our shoes off. We go to the airport, we take our shoes off. Some of us have to. If you don't got TSA pre, you got to take your shoes off. It's annoying. It's so stupid to me, right? But we do it. But why do we do it? We do it because 2 guys had a shoe bomb that didn't even go off. Like, it didn't even work. And we still taking our shoes off 8, 9, 10 years later. Still taking our shoes off because some people failed attempt at blowing up a plane with a shoe bomb. Now we taking our shoes off.
Unless you're TSA pre.
Right, unless you're TSA pre. But the point is,
which just means what? You pay more and then get like a
no. They do like a small little background check, and
Yeah.
then you have to like have like which is fair too. It's like, I don't think everybody should be lumped into like, so just because a couple of guys from a terrorist organization or that are in cahoots with a terrorist organization, just they want to blow up a plane. So now it means that we all are trying to blow up a plane or have the possibility to. So they you think they have a little common sense, so they have like these things in place. But my point is this: we still do it. And why do we do it? Even if we think it's dumb, even if we don't like it, we go, well, I understand why we're doing this. It's because lives could be lost. The very, very small, slim chance that someone actually makes a good shoe bomb. This is why we're doing this, right? So I think it's the same thing with the masks. But unlike the shoe bomb, COVID has actually killed 1 million people. So just statistically, I think wearing a mask is, and I hate it. Listen, I hate wearing masks. Guys, I hate wearing masks. Yeah. I don't go out because of it. I go to shows. I come home. I don't like going. Anytime I gotta wear a mask, I'm like, oh, I gotta do this. I hate it. I hate how I hate traveling. It just bugs me all day. It's so annoying, but I do it. I do it because, it's like whatever. But I just hate the political climate. I hate that we've politicized it. I hate that it's a Democrat-Republican issue when it should just be an issue about all of us galvanizing our feelings to beat this thing, And it's just like, and then they get on, like, I had the news thing on my phone, so this stuff came up, and they were like talking about Joe Rogan, The View, the Joe Rogan had Sanjay Gupta on this podcast, and they had a really great back and forth discourse about getting vaccinated and not getting vaccinated, and Joe Rogan has an opinion of like, I think if you're a healthy person, there's other ways to beat this. You don't have to just be vaccinated, and so there's people that get on him. They think that's a dangerous message, but you know what? It's nuanced, My point about it is like, hey, if you're these people that are anti-vax that are filling up the hospitals, because that's the majority of people that are in the hospital because of COVID are people that are not vaccinated. That's just a fact, okay? But here's the thing. Don't use Joe Rogan if you obese. If you're at home, fat, out of shape, unhealthy, you got pre-existing conditions, don't be like, well, I'm not going to. Joe Rogan is rich. In shape. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's a guy that's got money and wherewithal. He got, he's got the best vitamins, the best everything, the best treatments. You're not on that level. So don't use him as a reason for you to be like, well, I'm also not gonna. Nah, you I don't want to hear you. Like, I don't want to hear somebody fat, out of shape talking about I'm not gonna take the vaccine, because those are the people that are getting hit the most. Look at the statistics. Obesity is running through people. The COVID is running through the obese community. I'm talking about running through it, man. So not everybody's on the same level. So not everybody should be, speaking on it in the same way. But it becomes politics. Everything's politics, and it's just like, damn, can't we just have a conversation? So I love that guy went on Joe Rogan's podcast, and they had a really great back and forth. It got contentious at times, but that's what happens when you're having a discussion about something so serious, And so it's like, if we can't do that, if we can't have that kind of back and forth, if people are just going to sit in their own echo chamber and yell at the other side, like, you're wrong, you're stupid, you're whatever, how are we going to move forward, man? How the hell are we going to move forward? All right, let's go. Let me do the things, Wiggs. Let me just find this. All right, guys. So Helix Sleep, Helix Sleep, guys. I got a Helix Sleep mattress, and it changed my sleeping life. Sleeping is so important. every time I go to the health place, they're always talking about how's your sleep. I have this consultation they'll weigh me, they'll do my BMI, they'll do all this stuff, but the thing they always ask me about is, how are you sleeping? Are you sleeping? And I think sleep is important, and I've been having back issues, so sleeping on this mattress that I got has really changed it, and so I feel a lot better. The big thing about Helix Sleep, they got this sleep quiz. It just takes 2 minutes to complete, and they match you to your body type and sleep preference to fit you with the perfect mattress for you. Like, I'm a side sleeper, so my mattress is, it's a little softer. Some people are firm. They even go by your body type. Like, if you're a bigger person, they're going to have a more firm mattress that can take all that weight, or if you're light. I mean, they have a bunch of mattresses to choose from, and you just take this quiz, so it's perfect. So I want you to take a look at that on Helix Sleep. So so if you're looking for a mattress, like I say, take the quiz, you order the mattress. If you don't like it, they'll come get it from you. You know what I mean? You don't got to go to the mattress store anymore. Helix was awarded the #1 best overall mattress pick of 2020 and by GQ and Wired magazine. So go to helixsleep.com/Griffin, take their 2-minute sleep quiz, and they'll match you to the customized mattress that'll give you the best sleep of your life. Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/Griffin. All right? So there's that one. And guys, we are not done. I also want to talk about BetterHelp. Get that one on the screen, Wiggs. BetterHelp. BetterHelp, guys. I am a big advocate of therapy. Therapy is great. I take therapy. I actually take a couple of therapies. I have my own personal therapy, and then I have like some family therapy with, I just think that it is such a powerful tool for yourself. I know therapy gets a bad stigma, and it shouldn't. I want you to understand something. Therapy don't solve your problems. What it does is it helps you pinpoint the root causes of things. It helps you recognize the patterns that might be making you feel the way you feel with a professional who can translate that, because this is what they do. And we're still dealing with a lot right now. We're still in the pandemic. We're still trying to deal with like our jobs and our lives and what's going on and how are we going to move forward. So you're going to get timely and thoughtful responses. Plus you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions, all without having to go to an uncomfortable doctor's office. It's more affordable than traditional therapy, online counseling, and financial aid is even available. There's a lot of things we're dealing with, guys. Stress, anxiety. We're dealing with things with our relationship. We're still dealing with this pandemic. Listen, it's convenient. Most importantly, it's affordable. And, you could check out testimonials on their website. So go to BetterHelp. I want you to start living a happier life today. As a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/Griffin. Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Griffin for 10% off your first month. Start living a happier, better life. Go to BetterHelp. Thanks, guys. All right. So we got that. We got that in. We got that in. All right, let me look at the chat real quick. Hello, everybody in the chat. Thanks for being here. Anyways, thanks for being here. People are looking at, Wiggs is a cat guy, which I'm really surprised at.
I'm an animal guy in general.
Yeah, but if you go to Wiggs' Instagram, there's always some little pussy cat. What's going on with that? Why are you a cat guy? Are you cats over dogs?
Nah, I don't think I could choose. That's what I'm saying. And this whole experience, so there's a ton of stray cats in our alley. I have 2 cats. One of these strays got pregnant. And I mean, she's just going to keep having these cats. I guess I should get her spayed would be the super responsible thing to do.
So you got the neighborhood whore living.
Yeah, I mean, we feed her, and she had these kittens, and the kittens would come eat the food, and they're really cute, so I couldn't resist grabbing them, and I was going to keep one of them and give the other one away, but now it's looking like, unfortunately, we're going to have to keep both of them.
Oh, my God.
They're brother and sister, and it would be very hard to tear them apart from each other.
You mean from you?
Yeah, but even from each other. I mean, they were these feral little kittens, and now they're finally used to inside life and getting along. But the whole experience made me, one, realize I'm never doing this again, and that 2,
That's it for you.
Well, it was so
no more empathy for
it's
you.
like 1, the emotional stress.
Yeah.
2, the general stress. 3, like tearing it apart grabbing the kittens. I had to trap the kittens and bring them inside, and doing that in front of the mom was hard. And then 4, it's like I had to drop like $500 to get them all like their shots and everything.
Yeah.
So it's just a
and
whole lot.
Do you have health insurance?
Yeah, I don't have cat health insurance.
I'm just saying, it's amazing how expensive that stuff can be.
It was ridiculous. But I knew that going into it, so the expense is the least of it. But it's just too much stress in general, so I'm not going to do that again. But it made me realize I really do love animals. And
all right, well, there it is, guys. Yeah. There it is. Wiggy loves animals. All right, we're winding down, guys. So I want to do the last thing I want to talk about. 2 things. I want to talk about these 2 shows on the Apple TV that I'm watching. I don't know how many Apple TV watchers are out there. And at first I didn't think Apple TV was going to survive, but they actually got some good shows. They got Ted Lasso, and they got some really good shows. But there's a couple of shows that I'm watching and I want to talk about right now. The first one is this new show. It's called The Foundation. And I'm looking it up on my phone right now just so I can have some information. And I'm sure Wiggs is doing the same thing for you guys that are watching. But The Foundation, man, is a really great show, dude. It is... I don't even know how to explain it. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it's sort of like this futuristic, other galaxy show where there's this overlord empire that is running the whole, the galaxy, because they're the biggest force in the galaxy. And there's this guy, his name is Harry Seldon, and he has this math equation. He's a math whiz, and through math he has seen the future, and he thinks that the future of this empire, the whole place, it's going to crumble. It's not going to last. And he's predicting this future. And then, so there's different worlds that have different religions and different backgrounds, alien life, and they're all under the thumb of this empire. But the show is just really well acted. It's a lot of information to absorb, so you really got to pay attention to find out where they are, because they jump forward in the future, they'll jump back to explain things, and it's I'm on episode 5, I believe it is, and I really enjoy it. So if you're into Star Wars, if you're into that kind of stuff, and because it's very Star Warsy actually when it comes to the Galactic Empire. There's always an evil empire, right?
It looks super Star Wars.
Yeah, it's got a Star Warsy feel to it. But I just really enjoy it. I enjoy the storytelling. I enjoy the intrigue, the drama. I enjoy some of the little things that they did to explain why the empire is still in power. And it's just I don't really recognize. I recognize a couple of the actors in the show, but it's Jared Harris, Lee Pace. I used to watch How to Get Away with Murder on ABC, and this one kid is on the show. Let me see if I can see where he is. His name is Alfred Enoch. Oh, he was in Harry Potter. He was the black kid in Harry Potter. So yeah, he's great. Anyways, it's well acted. It's well performed. I'm not going to spoil it for you. And I would like to see anybody that's watching it, if you've watched it. What do you think? Anybody in chat watch this? And if you haven't watched it and you start watching it, make sure you could put a little message on my Instagram, being hey, I saw that, man, and I hated it or I liked it or whatever. I'm into that. I'm into this kind of stuff. It was very, like I say, it's very dramatic, and I love the space stuff too. The special effects are great. It looks like Apple spent a bunch of money on this show, and I like when they do that. I like when production companies, networks, or whoever put some money into these things.
Yeah, they definitely had a budget.
Yeah, it looks like it was a huge budget, but I didn't think Apple TV was working. I thought they were really going under, but it seems to be because they got a bunch of new shows that are coming out. I saw a Will Ferrell show that's coming out. They got another it's called Invasion. Then the Sam O'Neill, the dude from Jurassic Park, stars in that, and it's about aliens coming. So that's a show I'm going to check that one out too. I love fantasy, science fiction, and that kind of stuff. But The Foundation is pretty. I think it's a pretty good show. I give it a moderate thumbs up. It's not like the greatest show I've ever seen, but I really enjoy it, and I look forward to it coming out every week. I'm glad you can't binge it. I'm not a fan of binging, even though I love binging. I am a fan of binging, but I understand why you shouldn't let people binge. I love the build-up. I love the, oh, man, I want to see it. And then I get to know the characters. I get to think about it some more, so I enjoy that process. So check out The Foundation. That's one of the shows that I really enjoy on Apple TV. The other show I enjoy on Apple TV is...
It says 2 episodes of that is the budget of one movie.
Oh, wow.
But it doesn't say what that is. So
yeah. Oh, okay. So, wow. Well, it depends on what kind of movie too, though. It could be like
really mean anything.
It could be like a shitty, indie film.
Right. It doesn't give me a price, a number. So.
Yeah. So, okay. The other show. This is the other show. I really, really like this one. It's called C. This one is dope. And I talked about it before because season 1 was a little like, you know what I mean? I loved the concept of it though. It's a drama series and it stars what's his name? Aquaman.
What's his face?
What the hell's his name? Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
I always call him Jason Mimosa for some reason, but his name is Jason Momoa. And this show. Okay, so I could tell you about the show. So it's called C, like SEE. It's about it's like 500 years in the future from now. And something happened to all of humanity and everyone lost their sight. So everyone's blind. And this is now 500 years in the future when now they know how to live without sight. Okay. But sight is coming back to the world. And, it's like these sort of tribal kingdoms who are, trying to, just no matter what, see or not, men are men. Human nature is human nature. So they have kings and queens and leaders and councils and it's very Shakespearean. Like it really is. It's such a great show, man. Like this, I find myself in season 2 just so wrapped up in the story and the characters, and it is well acted. Like Jason Momoa is acting his ass off.
This looks really sick.
I believe everything that's happening. Like, because you have to remember that everyone's blind, right? And so they've come up with this sort of language that they have. It's
like Bird Box mixed with The Revenant.
Yeah, something like that. Can I finish talking about this damn show? I forgot when Wig's here, he think it's his show. So they have this how they communicate and how they walk and I could tell that the producers took a lot of thought into, and the writers and the creators were like, all right, here's how these people function without sight. And it's great. They snap at each other. They hit things, and and the fighting is great. Like you believe that this can happen. The way Jason Momoa is this warrior, and he has this sort of fighting style. Like he throws things at them. He bangs on the ground to make them, and it's just and the final episode is this big epic battle that is so good. It's such a great epic battle that I'm telling you, I highly recommend you watch this show. And then there's the characters in the show are so good. There's this woman, her name's Sylvia Hoeks, I think that's how you say her name, Hoeks, but she plays Queen Kane. She is the most evil bitch on TV, man. You know what I mean? It's very Games of Thronesy too, by the way. It's got that in it too. That's a great way. I forgot to say that. Yeah. It's very Game of Thrones in terms of the intrigue, in terms of the politics and the family squabbles, this is a really great show. I'm telling you, if you've trusted me in the past, trust me now. This is the show.
I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, you got to watch it. Sit through season 1. Because remember, season 1, they really got to establish this universe. You really have to suspend your disbelief, because at first you're kind of like, what? How are they doing this? How are they going to be able to do that? And then you just start to you just go, okay, I get it. And they show it to you. And I think in season 2, they really were very cautious, or they really were attentive to that. They were aware of we got to show how these blind people live, how they've done this. And I'm telling you, it's a really great show. And then they really show the discrepancy between, people that can see and people that can't, and how sometimes the message there is sometimes just because you can see something doesn't mean you can see things, And that's a real powerful message that's in the show. And I love it. I'm telling you right now, I want you guys to go watch that show and then tell me what you think of it. Let me see if anybody else in chat has watched it. Yeah. I don't know. Oh yeah, David Bautista. He's another guy that's in the show. He came in season 2. Oh, and he's great too, man. Oh, him and the other guy, David and Jason, are brothers, and you know, and it's like that kind of like, it's so Shakespearean. Oh man, I don't even want to spoil it for you what happens in the end. But it's just like, it's so good, man. I just, and then like, in this final episode, I just saw the somebody, I'm not gonna say who. There's like two really great speeches that just like, I was crying. I was like, oh my God, why am I crying on this shit? But it was like really good. So I will make sure you guys take a look at that too, man. That was like a really, it's just two really great freaking shows. All right. Make sure you guys hit the likes, hit the subscribe. You know what I mean? Like, don't leave me hanging right now. We want to build the show up. I don't know if we're going to make an official announcement. And also check out Gen to Gen, my other podcast, Gen to Gen with Matthew Espinoza. My other young, influential 20s good friend. We're doing that podcast, and that's we just had Dane Cook on. We got Megan Trainor coming up in another episode. I'm gonna get one of the Workaholics guys to come on that one. We just had these interesting discussions about the differences in the generations, and it's been pretty fun. The Dane Cook episode was really good. Dane really opened up. It was a really good episode, so I highly recommend you guys watch that. And also, I'm on King of the Sting, and I don't know if they're going to make an official announcement on this next episode, but I'm pretty much like, I'm on King of the Sting. Okay, so that's like the official thing. So now I have like 3 podcasts going on. I appreciate them making me a part of their thing, Theo and Brendan. I'm just trying to help alleviate their stress and just, be another voice in there to help them when one can't come and the other can, you know what I mean? All that kind of stuff. So I'm just trying to be here for the crew, and it's been fun with Stevie Weeby. Shout out to him. Check out Jeremiah Wonders. Check out Scissor Brothers. Check out King of the Sting, and check out Griffin. And once again, make sure you check me out on Erik Griffin Gaming, which I will do probably when I get off of this, after I get the episode ready for the audio, because I got to do everything right now. You know what I mean? But
R.I.P. the black butt.
Yeah, the black butt went away. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been another short and sweet episode of Riffin with Griffin. We did it live. If you want to help support Wiggy's cat problem, his cat addiction, he can
pay for my cat
he can,
food.
We want to help pay for cat food, or if we get a cat food sponsorship for Wiggy.
I also have a dog too. So.
Oh my God, he's a nightmare. He's a zoo runner over here.
2 cats, 2 kittens, a dog.
But it's good to see you again, Wiggs. Thanks for coming in to help me do this live. Everybody in the chat, thanks for being here, making this special. I love doing it live. And please because he's here, I didn't do the picture thing, but when I'm here by myself, I got a lot of great pictures from people that want the background to be like their house or their backyard. I've gotten some really fantastic pictures. Last week I had that good Cabo picture up, so that was great. I should have put some pictures up of Rachel from Fashion Week. I'm gonna do that next week, and I got to get Rachel back on too, but yeah, she did Fashion Week. Rachel had this picture of herself at 16, and now she has another picture of herself at 32. And I was like, well, damn, she's holding up well, is what I'll say. My beautiful fiance. So shout out to her. And guys, keep watching, keep subscribing. Please share, please like. Please do all that things that make the podcast grow. And I appreciate all you guys that came out to the shows and come up to me and like, hey, I love Riffin with Griffin. I appreciate you guys. You guys are keeping me going. And let's keep going. And I will see you next week. Peace. Just let it run for a little while. And then turn off that one over there.